Welcome to another episode of Guess Your Productivity Bottleneck in 3 questions or less. Today's guest is Liz Radivoyevitch, co-owner of Rad Graphics, where they are a marketing and graphics design firm. Thank you, Liz, for playing along.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, Lisa.
I know this is going to be tons of fun.
I'm sure.
So question number 1 is, what prevents you from getting everything you want to get done each day?
Interruptions.
Okay, tell me more. And by the way, just in case you're counting questions, that's a follow-up question to the first one. It's not a brand new question.
Oh, okay. Well, I like to schedule out my day. I like to plan like, okay, this is my block for this. This is my block for that. This is my block to get work, the actual work I do done. And it's always inevitable that something out of my orbit like comes in and says, I need this like by 2 p.m. And it's like, because a lot of our clients are longstanding clients, so it's like we do what we need to do to make sure that they get what they need done. So some of it's that, some of it's internal, where it's like between myself and somebody who works here that needs something right away, and I kind of know. Does that kind of help?
It does. It helps.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps flush it out. How often and this is question, we will call this question too. How often do you get those last minute requests from clients? Like what % of the time do you think?
What % of the time? I would say probably 20% of my, when I look at the whole week, probably 20% is kind of taken away by kind of like an emergency or a last minute request that needs to be dealt with right away.
And when you say clients, or when you say 20% is a last minute request, does that include clients and things coming internally, or is it different? But it's total 20%?
Yeah, I would say, or maybe a little more, maybe like 22.
Oh, 22.3754. Okay, so 22%. And so then my question number 3 is, how much open white space do you have on your calendar?
Not much, and that's what frustrates me. Because, a lot of what I'm like doing, especially now, because it's like crunch time, like for whatever reason, this is always a time when everybody's trying to, get in a last minute project or something like that. And, if I feel like a lot of my day is completely scheduled, and so, yeah, I feel like I don't have the room for it. And so it sort of ekes into a weekend, or it ekes into later at night.
Okay. So then a follow-up question on that is, how much of the work that you're doing is the work that is your zone of genius work?
Oh boy. Okay. I think probably if it's emergency stuff, I would say probably very little.
All right, so very little of the emergency stuff is your zone of genius.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. So I am going to say that your productivity bottleneck is that you have the opportunity to create, see how I phrase that for you? You have the opportunity to create a new process so that emergency stuff goes to the person whose zone of genius it is versus it defaulting to you.
Yep. I love it. I love it already.
Okay. How does that feel? Like it's?
Yeah. You know what? It just kind of, as I said that, I was like, oh, I should do this. I should actually have, like a hit list of other people that can be brought in, depending on the emergency or the last minute request.
Right.
So,
right. Or the fire, like whatever phrase you want to put around it.
Yep.
Oh, awesome. All right. So those of you who are watching right now, who are watching from home or wherever you're watching from, the process that we just went through with Liz is a 3-step process. And it's awareness, work, and evaluation. It's the all process. And the awareness is around digging in and finding what is the actual block or bottleneck. And in this case, it isn't really the fires as you would initially think.
Yep.
It's when we dig a little bit deeper, it's the fact that the work coming in last minute isn't getting to the correct person to do the work. And so then that W phase, which is the work phase, would be actually, and Liz just said it, I need to create this like punch list of things so that I know this goes here, this goes here, this goes there when it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And then that E phase would be the evaluation phase, which is, did the solution we created
Did it
create
work?
more or fewer problems? Because sometimes there's unintended consequences, and you solve one problem only to open the door to 6 or 7 more.
Yeah.
And so that's the process that you go through. Sound good?
That sounds good. It's on my to-do list.
Fantastic. If you would like to play along, feel free to go to impactivestrategies.as.me and fill out an application to be our next business owner, to be spotlit, to be on, whatever the word is, to be on the Guess Your Productivity Bottleneck in 3 questions or
to be unbottlenecked. Yes.
Yes, to be unbottlenecked.
Yay!
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.